What if death isn't the end at all? That sounds strange. But once you understand how death fits into the laws of nature, it stops feeling like a tragedy. It starts feeling like the most natural, even beautiful part of life. Because in a universe ruled by physics, death isn't a mistake. It's the engine that makes everything possible. Let's start at the beginning, with one of the most powerful ideas in science: entropy. Entropy is another word for disorder. It's the rule that says everything in the universe moves from order to chaos. Heat spreads, structures crumble, energy flows away. Over time, things fall apart. This isn't just true for people, it's true for everything. A hot cup of coffee cools down, a sandcastle gets washed away, a star burns through its fuel and fades. Nothing escapes it. Every living thing, from a blade of grass to a galaxy, is fighting this constant drift toward disorder. You could say life is the universe's brief rebellion against chaos, but it's a rebellion that can't last forever. When we're alive, we're like little islands of order. We stay organized by taking in energy, food, sunlight, air, and using it to keep our bodies working. But to do that, we also release energy back into the world as heat and waste. That's how we keep balance. As long as energy flows through us, we can resist entropy. But when that flow stops, when our bodies can't take in or use energy anymore, that balance breaks. Cells stop repairing themselves. Chemical reactions slow, order falls apart. This isn't failure, it's physics. When we die, we're not breaking nature's rules. We're following them. Here's the strange part. The same process that breaks us down also builds everything else up. When a tree dies and rots, its molecules feed the soil. That soil feeds new plants. The energy that once flowed through the tree doesn't disappear, it just moves on. That's true for us too. When a person dies, every atom in their body stays in motion, shifting into new forms. The heat from the body spreads into the air, the nutrients return to the ground. Over time, those same particles become part of new life. So death isn't the end of energy, it's the recycling of it. The same energy that once made you breathe and think will keep going, becoming part of something new. But let's step back even further, because entropy doesn't just explain decay, it explains time itself. Time moves forward because entropy increases. It's the reason the past feels different from the future. You can drop a glass and break it, but you can't drop broken pieces and have them jump back together. The universe doesn't rewind because the energy behind every event spreads out. That's what gives us the arrow of time, the sense that everything's always moving one way. It's the reason memories stay behind us and possibilities stay ahead. It's also the reason death exists at all. Without this one-way flow, nothing would ever change. There would be no evolution, no growth, no story. The same law that makes us age and die is the law that lets life begin in the first place. So, in a way, entropy is both our greatest limit and our greatest gift. It's what makes time real. But the story doesn't stop with us. Death is written into the universe on every scale, even among the stars. A star is like a living thing. It's born, it shines, and eventually it dies. Inside, nuclear reactions turn simple elements like hydrogen into heavier ones, releasing light and heat. That's what keeps the star alive. But when it runs out of fuel, gravity takes over. The star collapses, sometimes quietly fading into a white dwarf. Other times it explodes in a supernova so bright it can outshine an entire galaxy. That explosion might sound like an ending, but it's actually a beginning. The force of a supernova scatters elements such as iron, oxygen, and carbon into space. Those same elements later form new stars, planets, and eventually life, including us. Right now, everything you are was once part of a dead star. The calcium in your bones, the carbon in your skin, the iron in your blood. It was all created in the heart of a star that died billions of years ago. That means death, even on a cosmic scale, is creation in disguise. And the cycle keeps going. Even black holes, the ultimate symbols of destruction, don't last forever. Over time, they leak tiny amounts of energy into space. It's called Hawking radiation. Eventually, after billions of years, they fade away completely, returning their energy to the universe. Everything, from the smallest cell to the biggest star, follows the same rule. Energy moves, matter changes form. Nothing truly disappears. But here's what's terrifying. The universe itself is dying too. As galaxies drift apart and stars burn out, energy keeps spreading. Eventually, everything will even out. No hot spots, no light, no motion. Scientists call this the heat death of the universe, the point when everything reaches perfect balance and time loses its meaning. That might sound dark, but it's not a tragedy. It's the natural destination of entropy. It's the end of change, the final stillness after an unimaginably long story. And maybe that's what makes our moment here so special. We live in a universe that's still alive with difference, with heat, light, and motion. We exist during the brief window when things can still happen, when stars still burn and life can still grow. The more you think about it, the more you see that death isn't something separate from life. It's the other side of the same coin. Without it, nothing new could ever begin. Everything you are is recycled matter. The atoms in your body have belonged to countless forms before you. Plants, oceans, even ancient creatures long extinct. When you die, they'll move on again. You're part of a continuous flow of energy that never stops. The carbon in your breath could one day feed a tree. The calcium from your bones could end up in the shell of a sea creature. The water in your cells might fall as rain 1,000 years from now. You're not gone, you're just rearranged. Once you see death this way, it starts to look less like an ending and more like a transformation. The body stops, but the energy continues. The shape fades, but the ingredients stay in play. And that realization changes how we see life. If death is part of the same process that creates everything, then every moment of life is a kind of miracle. Against the endless pull toward disorder, we manage to hold ourselves together for a while. Every heartbeat, every thought is a moment of order in a sea of chaos. It's brief, but it's real. And because it's brief, it matters. When we know everything changes, we start to value the present more. We see meaning not in lasting forever, but in existing now. You could say entropy gives life its urgency. The fact that things fall apart pushes us to build, to love, to create while we can. The temporary nature of life makes it vivid. Even if everything eventually returns to balance, that doesn't erase what came before. Energy never disappears. Every action, every thought, every spark of life leaves a trace. Maybe that's why so many people across cultures and times have seen death not as a wall, but as a doorway. Physics doesn't talk about souls or afterlives, but it does tell us something just as powerful. Nothing truly ends. Everything that was once alive becomes part of what's next. So death isn't the opposite of life, it's what allows life to exist at all. You're not a mistake in the system, you are the system. You're the universe, briefly awake, taking one deep breath before returning to the flow. What are your views on death? Comment your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.